I had to go see to that tea. Anyway. Hi, my name is Jaclyn and welcome back to my channel. Yeah. I'm a mess. Jaclyn Hill's Am I Quitting? Spoiler alert, no she's not. But I really, really do wish she would. I'm bothered. Hi, my name is Jaclyn and welcome back to my channel. I am still in my kitchen, doing things in my kitchen. I just wanted to come on here, one, because I need a video. You see Mike behind me and everything, I just erased a ton of footage. And while I was in the process of recording, I'm packing up my whole apartment. I have the clutters that I need to do. I'm moving. It's stressful. And in the middle of all of this, I was watching YouTube. Not only do I do YouTube, I'm a fan of YouTube. I'm a fan of beauty YouTube. Could make my bag being a drama channel, being in the mess, for my own health, for what I want to put out in the world and have it as a permanent record. I am not doing that. I do commentary here sometimes. Most of it I try to keep in the beauty realm, talk about products. I am uncomfortable in a lot of ways doing the drama, but I'm triggered. I am triggered by Jaclyn Hill, and the only reason I know what's going on with Jaclyn Hill is because I have autoplay. So as I'm running around trying to do all of the things that I need to do to have a successful move and not lose my mind, not have a breakdown, and stay active on this channel, one of her videos popped up and I couldn't find my remote control to change the channel. And then once I'm one of those train wreck people, I will watch a slow-moving train wreck. I'm not above it. I'm not above the drama. I am not above the mess. And Jaclyn Hill is bothering me. She's bothering me. Jack's journey is bothering me. I did not have the discipline not to watch all of it, and it was triggering to me. I wanted to come on here and discuss some things. Trigger warning. Trigger warnings. We will be discussing mental health. We will be discussing ED, eating disorders. I have been trained to talk about this in a very oblique and flat way, but since I'm doing this off the top of my head, since we are just kind of rolling with the rhythm of my days right now, I don't have anything pre-filmed. Who does what I'm doing on this schedule without pre-filming a thing? Me, of course me, because if you have problems with any of these issues and just talk about it in general, and I don't know how specific I may or may not get, I just need to, I want to talk about this. It's an issue. It's an issue within the community. It's something that I've been spying a little as a lot of my favorite creators are transitioning into lifestyle things. That, like, I have a very low, and I mean low, threshold for diet culture. And it's only because I struggle with disordered thinking around food. I don't have an eating disorder, but I do have to guard against that type of culture. So, like a summary of Am I Quitting? Jaclyn Hill talks about seeking mental health help, that she hasn't been seeing a therapist, but she is on her way to doing it. And I want to know, I wonder, like, honestly, would she quit if a therapist told her what she was doing was harmful? What she's doing is harmful. I heard all of the dog whistles. Let's go through them. She's looking to control her eating. We talked about fat phobia, not being fat phobic while actually being fat phobic. Guilt-free snacks, as in there's good food and there's bad food. We talked about corn being bad for you, and then we talked about 5 products which have corn in them. We counted out 10 almonds as a healthy snack. We counted out how many chips we could have, or how many veggie sticks we could have in 100 calories. We showed a bunch of bags of what looked like a lot of sugar. Also, 1 calorie, except 100 calories. Acceptable, right? We talked about calorie counting. We talked about calorie deficits. We touched our bodies. Jaclyn touched her body and said gross more than once, I think. And I don't know, I only watched the video once, but these are things that I just happened to see. And I was like, you know, like mentioning, and I think this is where I get my feeling that we're heading towards Jaclyn Hill is going to be selling us food. She's going to be in a supermarket aisle near you, like where she says that her fan base is more excited about what she's eating and how she's working out than the makeup or the jewelry. So, like, I think Jaclyn the food brand is coming. And then she gives us this weird message about taking care of yourself and setting expectations. She does this weird thing about taking care of oneself. And I'm like, I'm bothered. I'm bothered as a woman who has trouble with this. So she talked a little bit about getting a therapist in the beginning. And I want to know, for real, like, what is this therapist telling her about sharing this journey? Because some things we should keep to ourselves, especially if we don't have a good handle on what we're doing. The kindest interpretation of what Jaclyn is doing is that she has a problem, and no one around her is either knowledgeable enough or cares enough to tell her, hey, like, you know, maybe this isn't it as far as posting your weight loss journey on the internet. That's the kindest interpretation of this. The skeptic in me is she knows exactly what she's doing. She's been at this for 10 years. That if she has a problem and she's working it through on the internet, she's figured out how to monetize it. And how to signal to the base, to signal that this lifestyle is acceptable and okay, and that everyone should buy into it. I'm not buying into it. I see what she's doing, and my impetus for being here is say, knock it off. And like, me, she's not going to listen to me. She's not going to watch this video. But for the rest of the community, I would ask to keep her out of our feeds. Like, we just forget the brand. We forget the brand. Leave it behind, like a starfish that we once knew. Like, he can't bother us anymore. And I want Jaclyn to stop bothering us too here in small beauty community. Like, I want Jaclyn to stop bothering us. The whole brand. I'm struggling thinking that maybe I shouldn't even put this up. Like, obliquely upset. But maybe this is helpful to other people. This isn't a problem. You know, like, I'm starting to see things in my community. My community has women of color in it. And we deal with this too. We deal with this struggle. The thought of talking about deep-seated competing cultural ideas, right? About what we look like, how we present, what we choose to talk about, what we buy, all of it. Like, women of color, we deal with it all, and a lot of us deal with disordered eating. I was talking to a friend and they were like, oh, that's disordered eating. And I had no idea. I'm old. I'm like, I don't have an eating disorder. Like, I don't. But I do have some some really terrible thoughts about food. I do. I struggle with it, and I'm here as someone who is still struggling with it. Like, been struggling with it for 20 something odd years. It's something that I worked in. It's something that I've been exposed to almost my entire life. But I always thought, like, oh no, never, not me. Like, I grew up, I went to boarding school, so I lived in a dorm at a young age, and then college, and then the Marine Corps. So my experience in the Marine Corps, quick aside, hopefully, is that I was overweight. I couldn't join because I was overweight. And so I had to lose weight, a good chunk of weight, in order to join in. And when I showed up to ship out, I was a couple of pounds overweight. And if you're overweight when you join, they, for real, label you. I had to walk around in a sweatshirt that had red stripes on it. All of my t-shirts had white stripes on it. And it was to alert everyone that I was an overweight recruit. And that meant that I had half rations. So when we went to the chow hall, I only got half of what everybody else was eating. Because I was physically fit, I had to PT harder than anybody else. So they have a designation, it's called Molly Marine, and it's the Marine that scores the highest on the PFT, and that was supposed to be me. And because that was supposed to be me, anytime anyone went to get, like, how do I put this? As a platoon, we were punished, and I was always, and the punishments were physical in nature, right? So we had to do push-ups and jumping jacks and arm circles and different things if we were out of line in any way, shape, or form. And so anytime anybody got in trouble, I had to go with them. So I was working out twice as much as the average recruit and eating half as much. And this goes into a theme with me as far as being rewarded for bad behavior. When I did my first, like when I decided that I was going to, make some videos and talk about my love of the makeups and everything around, like surrounding it, a few videos and I saw something and I made a video about it, about a situation with other creators here on the platform. And instantly had thousands of views and a few hundred subscribers. And I know that on these YouTubes, the messier you are, the more you're rewarded, right? I could have stayed there. And I would probably be monetized by now. I'd have all the subscribers that I need. Oh, please like, comment, and subscribe. But I could be making a living staying in the mess. I think things. I have a different viewpoint on things. I could have stayed in the mess. Rewarded for bad behavior. In the Marine Corps, as far as dealing with maintaining my weight, and it was a struggle for 5 years to maintain my weight. Part of the reason I'm here and not still serving is an injury and weight gain with that. I am trying. I'm here in this apartment alone, and this is the crux of my thing. I'm here in this apartment alone, and Miss Jaclyn Hill is doing the most to undo all of the hard work that I've done on myself, like when it comes to dealing with weight. She is doing all, like, it's like she's trolling. Why is she trolling people? I'm of two minds when it comes to how people get their bags. Listen, as long as you're not hurting anybody. As long as you're not hurting anybody, do you. All of this, makeup accumulation is too much, and you spend too much, and, watching pennies and everything else like that. I made a video about that. Like, listen, Listen, these are hard times, as long as you're not hurting anyone. Jaclyn Hill, I feel attacked. Wasn't that her? That was her code, right? He's right. Never trust anyone with a Morphe code. She's out here doing lifestyle. And as I said before, like, I think, and I haven't seen Laura Lee since that video. Since that video where she was fake crying, I haven't seen Laura Lee. But apparently she's over there doing lifestyle things. She's not bothering anybody. I'm not going to bother her. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was not that interested in Laura Lee, the brand, anyway. And when I got onto the YouTubes watching, like, it's an Olympic sport, she was already on her way out of the beauty community, right? Jaclyn Hill. Like, I watched 20 minutes and I was like, the first thing that I came to, Jaclyn Hill, you know, gets on and she's like, this is impromptu. It ain't this impromptu. Because she was done to the nines. Like, Jaclyn is always done to the nines. She's always been great at the makeups, right? But, you know, she's like, oh, you know, I'm just doing this on my phone. And she is talking about, you know, Jack's journey. And she says, am I quitting? Am I quitting? I'm like, I wish you would. I wish you would. Because you jumping on and off scales, getting frustrated, talking about you're not going to eat for a week. I hear, listen, if you need dog whistle translation and you're willing to pay me to do it, I hear all of the dog whistles to her audience. And it's supporting disordered eating and disordered thinking about food and weight, and it is fat phobia, and it is everything. Like, I see you, okay? The counting calories, talking about calorie deficits, being very, very specific about how many pieces of food you can eat in 100 calories. I hear all of those things. I see you, Jaclyn, and like, get your grift, because at this point, she's been at this for 10 years. All of the disappointing releases, it's not your fault, blah, 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 so forth and so on. Listen, if anybody buys anything from Jaclyn Hill at this point, you know it's buyer beware, right? She doesn't have a good track record with these things. Is she going to be out here poisoning us next thing? Is it going to be Jack Snacks? Is that the brand? I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it. And I'm bothered. I care about community. I care about women's health, mental, physical, and otherwise. One thing you'll never catch me doing on here is what I eat in a day. Never. Never, not once. And I like to think that, like, I have done enough education to eat healthily, to maintain, but I have these thoughts. I have these compulsions. On one hand, I know for my mental health and my physical well-being, because a lot of my anxiety sits inside of my gut, that I have to eat right and exercise to stay healthy mentally. I have to balance that against the compulsion to be in competition with myself to do better. And even being self-conscious on here, having a hard time confronting what I look like on the camera because of being treated badly just here in my face. I don't know what it would be if I like explored doing anything else where you saw like full shots of me, because I have been rewarded for bad behavior revolving around food and dieting culture. I have been rewarded financially, professionally, and socially for being thinner. And just even looking at myself right now, taking little peeks into the viewfinder, I'm like, I'm a little round. I'm a little round. So like, please don't worry about me. I'm going to have this conversation with my therapist. Thank you, Uncle Sam. Like, my healthcare is taken care of. I I have socialized medicine. But I wanted to talk a little bit about branding one's disorder. Like, I have feelings about it because I guard myself against this. Like, I really do curate what I watch, when I watch it, and how I watch it. But if she comes out with more makeup, or if she comes out and sends out to the beauty community a whole bunch of snack packages, like, because I think that's where we're going. At first, my first thought was, oh, she's selling Whole Foods and Trader Joe's, right? Because she mentioned all of these brands. These are the things that she eats. She says, oh, corn's not good for you. And then shows a whole bunch of, like, 5, I think. I've only watched it once because I'm not going back there. Like, I'll watch the train wreck once, but I'm not going back to the scene of the crime. Like, I can't do that for my own good. But, like, do not be out here in the streets promoting Jaclyn's Brown. Please, because it hurts me, y'all. It hurts me to see some of these influencers and what they are doing. Like, I have watched a bunch of these cult videos about cult leaders and how they get people to join. And one of the running themes in the last few scams that I've clocked is weight loss. That these churches or cults or whatever you want to call them, if they are led, and the survivors' testimonies revolve around disordered eating and eating disorders, don't do it. Like, this is my call to the community. I can't, like, Jaclyn Hill is over there doing Jaclyn Hill things. Jaclyn Hill is over there doing Jaclyn Hill's things, like, for the community's sake, for keeping the audience, because I think a lot of people have kind of tuned out. And listen, we have a whole panini out there, and it's a different flavor of panini. Everything is going to be hard. It's hard now. It's hard now. I just don't want to hear anything more about Jaclyn Hill or her brand or her jewelry or what's coming next. What's coming next is Jack Snacks. I'm calling it right now. Please don't. Like, it's deleterious. And this is just for, like, it's just a personal thing with me. Like, it's becoming personal. If you're gonna comment, please do not call anybody any names. Like, and this is the thing. This is, part of this is really wondering, like, and I almost left a comment. And I don't leave negative comments. I never do. I never do. I see something, I don't like it, I move on. Or I got on here a couple of times and said, like, not today. Not today. We're not messing with the thing that we have a hard time talking about, like food. Get your grift. But don't, I can't buy into it. Like, I feel like I've done all of this work and all of the feelings in one video, and then, like, I watched her do other things in a couple of other videos. Okay, so this often happens to me. I don't know if any of this was clear, and I wasn't making some grand argument one way or another. I just kind of want to personally be left alone. Like, I love expression. And freedom of speech and freedom of expression is something. But what happens when you are part of a community, whether or not, like, you're a good actor in that community, like, whether the community accepts you, like, for me, being as liberal as I am, and I don't like that label, but let's call it what it is. I was in the military for 5 years. I lived socialism. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Like, that's my preferred state. It's like, mwah. Like, you're skilled, you're talented, you do what you're supposed to do, you get paid. Like, I was okay. I wasn't going to get rich being in the military, but my skills were of value, and in exchange, I got paid. It was nice. I got rewarded for good behavior. I also got rewarded for bad behavior. So that's also part of it. I think I've run out of steam, like I always do. Anyway, please leave your thoughts. No name calling. No name calling. No name calling. Ad hominem attacks. We just don't do it here. We don't do it here. Those will be deleted. But if you leave a comment in kind, are we having a hard time with food in the holidays? I'm here for the discussion. It's a lot. It's a lot. Until next time.